Have you ever wondered why some people can't seem to control their urge to drink? Today, we delve into a topic that often lurks in the shadows, a condition that impacts millions worldwide but is frequently misunderstood: alcohol use disorder, or AUD for short. When we think about drinking, our minds might conjure images of relaxed social gatherings, celebratory moments, or a quiet evening with a glass of wine. Yet for some, this seemingly harmless act spirals into a debilitating cycle of uncontrollable cravings and compulsive alcohol use. This is the stark reality of alcohol use disorder. AUD is not simply a case of enjoying one too many drinks at a party. It's a chronic relapsing brain disorder that fundamentally alters the way the brain operates. It's characterized by an impaired ability to stop or control alcohol use, even when it's causing severe social, occupational, or health consequences. Just imagine your brain continuously urging you to drink, regardless of the damage it's causing to your relationships, your work, your health, and indeed your life. It's like being trapped in a maze with no apparent exit, where the walls are closing in, yet the only solution your brain offers is another drink. This is the complex world of alcohol use disorder. It's not merely a lack of willpower or an inability to make good decisions, but a serious medical condition that requires understanding, empathy, and appropriate treatment. It's important to underline that AUD is not a moral failing or a character flaw. It's a brain disorder that can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, income, or social status. It's an invisible battle that many are fighting, often silently, hidden behind the mask of normalcy. In this light, it becomes apparent why it's so crucial to unmask and understand the true nature of alcohol use disorder. It's not just about helping those affected to navigate their way out of the maze, but also about changing societal perceptions and removing the stigma associated with this disorder. It is vital to understand that alcohol use disorder is more than just a drinking problem. It's a serious medical condition with far-reaching implications. So, what causes alcohol use disorder? A question that can't be answered with a single simple explanation. Let's start with the genetic factors. Much like the color of our eyes or the shape of our noses, our susceptibility to alcohol use disorder, or AUD, can also be written in our DNA. Research indicates that genetics account for about half of the risk for AUD. So, if there's a history of alcohol misuse in your family, your risk may be higher. But genetics alone doesn't tell the whole story. Psychological factors play a significant role in the development of AUD. This includes how we cope with stress, the level of our self-esteem, and our overall mental health. Those with mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, or bipolar disorder may be particularly vulnerable. Now let's consider the environmental factors. The influence of our surroundings and the people we interact with can't be overlooked. Pressure from peers, the availability of alcohol, and cultural attitudes towards drinking all contribute to the development of AUD. Risk factors also come into play. Age, for instance, matters. Those who start drinking at an early age are more likely to struggle with alcohol later in life. A history of trauma, such as physical or sexual abuse, can also increase the risk of AUD. It's important to understand that these factors don't operate in isolation. They interact with each other in complex ways. For instance, someone with a genetic predisposition might never develop AUD if they grow up in a supportive, alcohol-free environment. On the other hand, someone with no genetic risk might develop AUD if they are exposed to high levels of stress and have easy access to alcohol. The causes of AUD are complex and varied, often involving a combination of genetic, psychological, and environmental factors. It's a tangled web, but understanding these root causes can be the first step towards prevention and recovery. How can you tell if someone might be struggling with alcohol use disorder? This is a critical question, as early detection can pave the way towards recovery. Let's delve into some of the common symptoms of alcohol use disorder, or AUD, which can manifest physically, psychologically, and socially. Physically, AUD can be quite deceptive, often hiding in plain sight. One key signal is an increased tolerance to alcohol. This means a person might need more and more alcohol to feel its effects, leading to a higher frequency and volume of consumption. Another physical symptom is withdrawal. When someone with AUD stops drinking, they may experience a range of uncomfortable symptoms like trembling, sweating, nausea, and in severe cases, hallucinations and seizures. Psychologically, AUD can also take a toll. People may find themselves preoccupied with alcohol, spending a substantial amount of time obtaining, using, or recovering from its effects. There could be a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control alcohol use. They might also continue to drink despite knowing the physical or psychological problems it's causing. Socially, the impact of AUD is profound. People with AUD may start neglecting their responsibilities at work, school, or home. They might give up or reduce important social, occupational, or recreational activities because of alcohol use. Moreover, their drinking might lead to recurring legal problems or interfere with their relationships. But it's important to remember that these symptoms can vary in intensity. Some people may show only a few signs, while others may exhibit many. And while these signs can be indicative of AUD, they can also be symptoms of other issues. So professional help is always recommended to make a correct diagnosis. Recognizing these symptoms is the first step towards seeking help and beginning the journey to recovery. Remember, AUD is a medical condition, not a moral failing. Identifying the signs and seeking help can lead to a healthier, happier life. What happens when alcohol use disorder goes untreated? This question may seem daunting, but it's crucial to understand the potential fallout. Let's peel back the layers and delve into the consequences of letting AUD go unchecked. First off, let's talk about physical health. Long-term alcohol abuse can wreak havoc on your body. Your liver, the organ primarily responsible for processing alcohol, can suffer severe damage. Conditions like alcoholic hepatitis, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer can develop. Your heart isn't spared either. Chronic heavy drinking can lead to conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. But it's not just about the physical impact. There's also the mental health component. Alcohol is a depressant, and regular heavy consumption can lead to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. In some cases, it can even contribute to the development of severe mental health conditions like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. And then there's the ripple effect on relationships. AUD can strain familial ties, friendships, and romantic relationships. The constant focus on alcohol can lead to neglect of personal responsibilities, causing tension and conflict. Trust can be eroded, and the emotional toll can be immense. Let's not forget the impact on work or school performance. Maintaining focus, meeting deadlines, and achieving goals can become increasingly challenging when grappling with AUD. It can hinder career progression, academic success, and overall personal development. But the story doesn't end here. Prolonged heavy drinking also increases the risk of certain cancers, including mouth, esophagus, throat, liver, and breast cancer. The list of potential consequences is long and harrowing. The consequences of untreated AUD are severe and can be life-threatening. It's a bleak picture, but it's important to remember that these are potential outcomes of untreated AUD. They serve as a stark reminder of why early intervention and treatment are so crucial. But remember, it's never too late to seek help. Whether you're in the throes of AUD or know someone who is, there are resources and support systems available. Recovery is possible, and a healthier, happier life is within reach. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned about alcohol use disorder. Alcohol use disorder, or AUD, is not just an addiction. It's a chronic relapsing brain disease characterized by an impaired ability to stop or control alcohol use despite adverse social, occupational, or health consequences. It's a serious health issue that affects millions of people around the world, crossing all demographic lines. The root cause of AUD can vary widely from person to person. It's often a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and psychological factors. Some individuals may have a genetic predisposition, while others may turn to alcohol as a way to cope with stress, trauma, or other life challenges. The symptoms of AUD can be physical, psychological, and behavioral. These may include an increased tolerance to alcohol, withdrawal symptoms when not drinking, and a strong desire to drink despite knowing the negative consequences. AUD can also lead to significant impairment or distress in one's life. The consequences of AUD are far-reaching. It can lead to serious health problems such as liver disease and heart problems. It can also impact relationships, work performance, and overall quality of life. But the good news is, AUD is treatable. If you or a loved one is struggling with AUD, there are resources available to help. You're not alone in this journey. There are hotlines, websites, and local support groups that can provide guidance and support. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, Alcoholics Anonymous, and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration are just a few of the many organizations dedicated to helping individuals with AUD. Remember, alcohol use disorder is a serious health issue, but with the right help and support, recovery is possible. Don't hesitate to seek help if you or a loved one is struggling with AUD. Subscribe and don't forget to take care of yourselves. Bye!